Internet went out, y'all. My bad. My internet connection just does what it wants. But yeah, we back. Yeah, but like he was saying, who was that? Philip. Yeah, Philip. Like you were saying, and that's the biggest thing. The game changes. See, a lot of these coaches, they get so full of themselves, they almost feel like they bigger than the game. You know what I'm saying? The game will always evolve, and whether you're a coach, you're a player, you have to adapt to it. You have to adapt to it. So Jim Harbaugh, he's even though he tries to change, he's still somewhat stuck in 1985, 1992 or something. He's still stuck there. Like at the end of the day, that's what he wants to be. But you have to adapt. And whether that's you learning new systems or that's you just trusting in your coaches, your assistant coaches, to help you build up-to-date system. The game adapts. Just like you say with the quicker linebackers, he went from dudes that are 245, 250 prototypical, well, old school prototype linebackers to more leaner, faster dudes that are 230. But they some dogs. you can have some of them dudes, but they need to be some dogs. They're gonna be flying around, getting around the ball, and punishing dudes like they did Sermon on the first play. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to adapt because the game will always evolve. And if you don't adapt, the game will leave you behind. The game ain't nobody bigger than the game because no matter how big a coach thinks he is and how good he thinks he is, it's some dude that's sitting at the house right now and he's breaking down all of that great coach's film. He's making up new plays that you've never seen, concepts that you've never heard of. The game will always evolve. Nobody is bigger than the game. Do I think Jim Harbaugh will ever win 11 games? That's possible. I mean, he's had us there. See, the problem with us is, or Michigan is, like we'll have seasons where we have 10 wins, but the problem is we'll have our hopes and dreams for the season, and they'll all be on that last game. So we'll be having a good season, a damn good season, but we have to play Ohio State and we lose to them. And now our hopes of a national championship are gone. Our hopes of a Big Ten championship are gone. So the bowl game is like, okay, we got to play a meaningless bowl game. You know what I'm saying? So we can get there. It's just, that's a problem for us. That when we lose that Ohio State game, when we have good seasons, it's just like, okay, the players kind of don't care at that point. Because the bowl game, it doesn't mean anything. You sitting right here and you got the hopes of playing in the Big Ten championship. Like all your hopes and dreams, the Big Ten championship, the playoff, it's all right there. And then you lose to Ohio State and it's all gone. It's all those hopes and dreams are gone. And so it's like, okay. You say y'all gonna take y'all anger out on on Minnesota. Ross Hickson. What you say? I'm double dipping on the likes. I wish I was. No, the internet just so trash here, bro. Then I don't know it's gone out until like the last second. It's like, okay. I'm just talking now and I'm not live anymore. Yeah, that doggone that playoff, they need to expand it because honestly, I feel like some teams have a chance to beat some of the teams that make the playoff. Like just let the top 10 in, or let the top 10 in, let the top 2 get a bye, and let the top 10 in. Let them play it out. I mean, who as a college football fan, do any of us have a problem with 10 teams getting in? That's just more games for us to watch and enjoy. You never know what's going to happen with some of these teams. So that's just more games for us to watch and enjoy that are actually meaningful games. You know what I'm saying? So instead of us just watching bowl games that don't really mean anything, then you can have like a Cincinnati versus Georgia, and it's a meaningful game. They're trying to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the $4.99 super chat, Philip. He says Michigan has the biggest recruitment piece, the GOAT. Tom Brady, use that and Desmond Howard to your advantage to young recruits. Michigan has a lot of NFL talent that they could be using, whether it's Brady, Woodson, Desmond Howard, dudes like Ty Law, dudes with NFL hardware. Like Woodson's got defensive MVPs. Brady and all his MVPs, the rings, the GOAT status. Desmond Howard's got a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, Lamar Woodley's got rings. Brandon, what's his name? Brandon Graham, he got a ring against Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of dudes that we have that have hardware and that could come back and help recruit. But it's Jim Harbaugh, he almost takes it like a negative. Like, dude, bring these dudes back. Like, I don't know what Harbaugh will kind of pisses me off. Jason says OSU doesn't have a QB after Fields. Y'all still have one, and who will host the game this year? Yeah, Harbaugh is weird. And you notice it more when you see other coaches talk. Like when I see Ryan Day talk, I see a confident coach, like a uber confident coach. Like he believes in his team. He's not going to show any weakness. Whether he thinks his team is underrated or overrated, he's going to tell you we're going to kick their butt. we come into play and to take their rings. He's going to tell you up front confidence. Like he just exudes confidence in his team for the most part. Like a real man's man, like no excuses, let's go. Nick Saban, you can tell he's like the tactician coach, where everything is I'm prepared for everything, and I'm not going to accept any excuses or mistakes by my coaching staff, my players, any of that. Like he's going to make the position he's going to do whatever he has to do to win, whether that's benching his starter, benching whoever he needs to. He's going to do that because he knows I've prepared my backups to win this game. So I trust my backups. You're not doing what you need to do? Come sit down. This is a 60-man team. Yeah, you the quarterback, but we're trying to win a championship. Come sit down, son. And I love that about Saban. Exactly, JC. Harbaugh just be saying BS. Harbaugh says stuff where you be like, Like you just be tired of him. Like here he goes saying just nonsense. Here he go just saying nonsense again. Like, and that's why I get so mad with Harbaugh. And he does stuff that really doesn't make a difference. Like with the never telling you who's hurt or and all that. Like, bro, my, just thinking about it makes me mad because he won't tell you who's hurt and stuff, and then he'll come out there and we'll get our doors blown off. But I didn't want to give up my hand on who was hurt or not. Don't make a difference. Who's hurt? Like, it don't make a difference. Only time that it makes a difference if that player is Trevor Lawrence. If that player is who's we had, Jabril Peppers or something. Besides that, it really don't make a difference. The player has to be transcended almost for that to make a difference. Like if Smith didn't play last night, like if he was hurt before the game. Now that's when you don't tell because that player is a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a transcendent player. That's a difference maker. He be holding out. I'm not telling it's the backup right tackle and stuff. Like it's the third string, fourth string receiver, and he ain't talking. Just tell us who hurt. Oh, and being cute, we stay getting cute. Honestly, I don't feel like Ryan Day's. He can coach. He can coach. See, Ohio State is a recruiting factory right now. Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma. Those schools are recruiting factories. For them not to be somewhat successful, the coach is going to have to be trash. And Ryan Day, he's not trash. As Clemson just saw a couple weeks ago, he can coach. As Michigan fans, we know that dude will scheme the hell out of your defense. They have you looking for answers. He does something so slick, and he's doing that hurry up. That I guess I'll call it a sneaky hurry up because they don't hurry up right away. They go to the huddle and then they hurry up. But he's been doing that. He did that 2 years ago at Michigan. And it made a real noise because he did it against Clemson, and he did it, made them look bad with it. But he did that against us. That dude can coach. Like, just something like that. Something so simple. Just something so simple that you would think a bunch of teams do, but most teams, they do a hurry up as soon as the play is down, they do the hurry up as soon as the ball is down, they hurry back up. But he's doing it subtly. They still huddle up, and then after the huddle, then they hurry up. So it's subtle. Teams think after you huddle, they got time to change their defense and stuff like that. But just something so simple like that. He's exploited teams. He even exploited Bama with it. Exactly, Lulu. You make it to the playoffs, you getting recruits. It's just simple as that. That's why I say when we didn't make it in 2016, when we lost to OSU and didn't get to go to the Big Ten championship and didn't get the chance to make the playoff because we were in the top 5. That hurts us. That hurts you in recruiting because when you're in the playoff, you're on the biggest stage. Nobody else is playing. Nobody else is really playing. So you on the biggest stage. Those are the games that people that don't even really watch football will be watching. Yeah, the same 4 teams every year. It is getting old, but it is what it is. It is what it is. They stockpiling talent. And it hard because normally you have to instill a winning culture. Like you usually have, let's say you got freshmen and they'll get their doors blown off by let's say Alabama, let's say they're in the SEC. So they getting their doors blown off by Bama. That next year they a little better. They playing a little better. That third year they like, okay, we're not losing to them. We ready. We ready. You know what I'm saying? Then that fourth year, if they don't beat them that year, they coming back that next year, senior year, and hopefully they can get them. But it makes it hard when Bama's got 5 stars. Just you trying to build up your talent and develop your talent when they develop in players that are just better than yours and they coached probably better than yours. So you trying to play the slow game and build them up over 3 and 4 years when he just got them, he just reloading. You know what I'm saying? He got 5-star dudes. They being coached. They going against other 5 stars in practice. So, you know, I just like to see the playoff just add more teams because you never know what can happen. You know what I'm saying? Why do Ohio State fans include themselves when they mention the likes of Bama and Clemson? Ohio State is more like an Oklahoma. I mean, that's what the ESPN dudes do though too though. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like because the difference between Bama, the difference between Oklahoma and OSU is OSU won the first playoff. They won the first playoff with Ezekiel Elliott in them, and they've actually been to another championship game, which was this one. So Oklahoma just gets their doors blown off most of the time in the playoff. So I would put them I would put them ahead of Oklahoma, honestly. Yeah, that's a good point, Derek Simmons. Clemson is new money. We've been good for decades. That's true. Yeah, Oklahoma hasn't had a championship in a while. I don't know. I can't think of the last time. Was it Heupel and them dudes? I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, they've been going to the playoff, but when they go to the playoff, they get their doors blown in because they don't play any defense in that conference since 2000. Dang, it's been that long. It seems like man, it's been that long. But they've been good, but they just haven't. They don't play any defense out there. So Texas has a championship soon, more recent than Oklahoma. Oh, they went to the championship in '08 against Florida. More teams are needed. It will justify more fans to be happy and maybe see their team win one day. Yeah, my thing is let them play it out on the field. Like let them just like college basketball. College basketball, they play it out on the court. Let these dudes on the football field play it out. Let them play it out. You know, the top 10 teams and let them go at it. See who's the best. I mean, it's simple as that. It's more money for them. It's funny to me because it's like it's more money for y'all. That's all y'all really care about anyway. It's more money. So get your money. We get to enjoy more games. RX 0 says, Johnny, do you like Harbaugh being re-signed? I don't I don't like Harbaugh being re-signed because I don't know how much he doesn't seem like he cares that much anymore. Like the honest truth, he doesn't seem like he cares that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he got resigned and they got it's incentive based, but his buyout goes down every year, which is good. You know what I'm saying? But how much do you care? And you can't be stubborn about hiring coaches and firing coaches, especially firing coaches. You know, certain things you have to do your due diligence with. Like, and it just bothers me. He's so stubborn, he'll knock his head against the wall 2, 3 times. College football, you don't have the time to be knocking your head against the wall 2 and 3 times for you to learn your lesson. After one time, you need to really evaluate, can I still get away with this same thing? Was that a blip or is that a trend after the first time? Because you don't get second chances with some of these players after you done built them up. Like this is the go-to. 2016. We haven't had a better team than that team. We've had some good teams, but they weren't that. They weren't that. So the fact that you didn't capitalize on making it to the Big Ten championship, it set you back. It set you back. You were in year 2, and you could have took down all your rivals in one year and made the Big Ten championship, and you were almost guaranteed to win it because we had a squad. So the fact that you didn't capitalize on it with all those NFL players, almost your whole D-line is in the NFL or made the NFL, your receivers, NFL, your linebackers, Jabril and most of them, NFL. Let's see. Jordan Lewis, what's his name? David, NFL. Almost the whole defense was in the NFL. So, and a lot of the offensive dudes. So you didn't maximize that. You don't have time because when you don't, those players are gone. Now you have to almost start over again. So you got to maximize those teams that have the potential to make the Big Ten championship, to beat OSU, and to make a playoff. You have to maximize. If you don't, it's going to set you back. It's going to set you back. So that's just what it is. Like, so you being stubborn, I'm not going to fire Don Brown. I like him. I like him. You set us back. Oh, I'm just hiring Josh Gaddis without he coached at Bama. I'm just gonna hire him. I'm not gonna go through his resume. I'm not gonna actually sit down and talk to him about his schemes, what he likes to do on offense. How is he gonna get us to beat OSU? How is he gonna get us to put up 35 and 40 each game? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna call him and hire him. You're hired. When can you be here? Don't work like that. Don't work like that. Not if you want to be great. So you hire dudes that don't need position. You waste talent like Nico, DPJ. Hell, Ronnie's a beast slick. You wasted these dudes. You wasted them. What is it? The tight ends, McCune and Gentry, big NFL tight ends. You wasted them. You know what I'm saying? That whole doggone 2016 team is in the NFL making plays, especially on defense. That team was loaded. Like it still hurts me to this day that they didn't at least get to the Big Ten championship. And you might be right. Derek Simmons, it might not. Too late. Never happen now. And you might be right. It might never happen with Harbaugh. It might not. We're gonna have to see what is he gonna do. How's he now? The hope for everybody is the JJ McCarthy, the prodigal son, JJ, and some of these dudes that's coming in because they seem like they want to change the culture, but they're gonna need help. JJ can't change the culture on his own. He's gonna need help from his D coordinators, Harbaugh, the offense, Gaddis, and he's gonna need help from the development. You got to get these dudes bigger, faster, and stronger to compete. The road, all our dreams, all our hopes and dreams for the Big Ten, they sitting in Columbus. They in Columbus. just like on my live before the playoff. What was I saying? Ryan Day probably wants to prove himself, but Nick Saban ain't just gonna give him the championship. He ain't gonna give it to him. You got to take it from me. You got to take this from me. And now I'm already getting sized for ring 7. You got to take this from me. I ain't giving you nothing. Come take it. So the same thing goes for us in Ohio State. They sitting in Columbus like y'all want to run the Big Ten again. Y'all want to compete with us. Come take it. We ain't giving you nothing. Come take it. Get your team together, and we'll see you in November. Ain't nobody gives anybody anything. That's in life and especially in sports. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. Yep. So it is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna give us nothing. If we want to run the Big Ten, you got to take it, and that starts just with a passion. Like from watching us this year, them dudes was quitting half of the game. Let's just be real. They quit half the time. From defense, the coaches looked like they was quitting, didn't know what to do. Harbaugh looked like he was playing video games or something. Like he was thinking about what he was gonna do for in the offseason. He wasn't thinking about coaching that team. All them dudes. So the culture, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like for the way I'm thinking, it's gonna take a quarterback, a real quarterback. And this is why I say this. To change a culture, you need that quarterback. You really need that I'm not going to lose quarterback, because he's going to demand greatness from his teammates, and he's going to make the defense believe. He's going to make the defense believe. And when the defense is having a down day, he go, okay, get on my back. I got y'all. Yeah, y'all playing like garbage today. I know. But don't worry. I got you. I got you. I got you. Just do what y'all can. But no, I'm about to put up points. I'm about to put up some points. So you to really change it, you need that quarterback. He just doesn't lose. Quarterback that just doesn't lose. And Clemson, how Clemson got to that level, I forget the quarterback before him. Before Deshaun, he started it. He got it going. Then Deshaun, he took it to that level. I ain't losing. After he lost to Bama in the championship, the next year, I ain't losing, dog. I ain't losing. Do what you got to do on defense. Just do what you can. I ain't losing though. It don't matter. I ain't losing. Once you get that dude that just picks up everybody, a lot of the other stuff will start falling into place. Ryan says, you in a basketball school now. I hope not, but it's looking like it. Why can't we be good at both? Why we gotta be one or the other? Why we can't be good at both? Because it happened, what was that, 2016, a couple years? I feel like we were good at both. Taj Boyd, good call out, Peanut Butter Hero. Taj Boyd started it, and Deshaun Watson took it to the next level. And he had that, he has that I'm not losing factor. Because college, those dudes like that, they can just make sure you're not losing. Like, we're not finna lose. Pros is different, because them dudes getting paid. But college, you get one of them dudes, they can change your program. Henny and Hart, what was that? 2000, what was that? 2006, the game. That's another one. That's another one that could have changed everything, because we would have went to the championship if we finished that game. Team loaded, full of NFL dudes on offense, defense, special teams. Steve Breston, Manningham, Hart, Henny. Was it Jake Long? Is that Jake Long on that team, I think? Team full of dudes. Leon Hall, Ernest Shazier, Marlon Jackson. Team full of NFL dudes. David Harris, Big Gabe Watson, what's that dude's name? Alan Branch, Lamar Woodley. Arrington. Teams full of NFL dudes. And honestly, we haven't had talent like that. That talent was on another level even from our 2016 team. That 2016, that team had NFL Pro Bowlers. They didn't just have dudes that went to the NFL. They had Pro Bowlers on that team. And they had some dudes that won championships in Super Bowls too. We have yet to get to amass that much talent. That team could play with anybody. Malachi McKinney says, where decaf going? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. that team was ridiculous, bro. Like they could play with anybody, for real. He said the only fallback we got versus OSU is the all-time record, and nobody cares about that anymore. Time to put up or shut up. It's on McCarthy. Yep, that's what it is. It's time to put up or shut up. Harbaugh has to get it done. He has to show that he's getting it going in the right direction. Like, what is your plan for the D line? Because we're still thin at D tackle. What are you going to do with that? Like, certain things, and this is what I hate, and that he let Don Brown have so much control, because you started overthinking. Don Brown thought he was smarter than football, the game itself. On defense, the game is football in general is won in the trenches. We all know this. On defense, your D-line's job is to take up tackles, to take up blocks, so your linebackers can make tackles. You wanted to get smaller D tackles so they could run around faster, but yet they get pushed around. Now, your linebackers can't make tackles because the blocks are getting to them. You thought you were smarter than the game. And you just let him do it, Harbaugh. And this is what's sad about the fact that he let him do this. You're an old school minded coach that loves to run the ball in the trenches. You should have known that him building his defense like that was going to be bad. Because you know better. You fell in love with this dude that much that you just forgot all football sense. All that stuff that Bo taught you, you just forgot. You just forgot basic football that everybody knows. New York Buck says Don Brown was good against JT Barrett running offense. He got worse when we turned into a throwing team. Yeah, because JT couldn't make. See, this is the thing. JT couldn't throw dudes open, but Dwayne, Fields, they could. They could throw dudes open. So the fact that even though half the time they're wide open also, but the fact that JT couldn't throw dudes open, he didn't trust his arm enough. So Don Brown could run his man defense, and then JT he might have some, but he's just going to pull it down. And then Urban would have him just pulling it down and running it. You know what I'm saying? But then you get dudes that trust their arm enough, because to make those throws, you have to trust your arm enough, because the DB will be right here, but you know you're going to put it right here. So you can sit right here. I'm putting it right there. You own him, but I trust my arm enough to make that throw. So JT didn't trust his enough. So he couldn't throw. He turned y'all offenses one-dimensional, which in turn – we could take advantage of that, even though he still burnt us running it, which just pisses me off thinking about. But yeah, once y'all got dudes that trust their arm and knew they could make all the throws, it was a wrap for his scheme. Because y'all would still burn us with the run too, with the running. So now you have true dual threats. But yep, you're right. You're right. You say 2006 returnees lost to App State in 2007. Them dudes were cocky. They were saying they were the Patriots with Moss, Brady, and what's the little receiver? Yeah, them dudes. After that 2000, that next year they got cocky. That's when they lost to App State, and that's Lloyd Carr's final year. Lloyd Carr got fired. But yeah, he was too cocky. They got too cocky, and that's something you can never do in football. You can't feel yourself too much, because you over there feeling yourself and thinking, "Oh, we're just playing App State," and them App State dudes, they up watching film on you. Oh, they ain't that good. Oh, okay, they good, but nah, we can play with them. Them App State dudes up late doing extra workouts, making sure they ready. Them App State dudes making sure they eating diet is correct, making sure everything is right so they can upset the world and do something great. When these dudes get in that mindset that I'm about to do something great, who am I going against? Oh, I got to go against Manningham? Okay, I'm preparing. I'm doing extra work. I'm doing extra film study. I'm going to be ready. We're going to do something great, y'all. That's when they came together as a team to accomplish something that pretty much hasn't been done since. Because Michigan was cocky. When you get cocky on that field and you don't take your team, your opponent serious, that's the type of stuff that happens. Because Michigan had plenty of talent. That shouldn't have never happened. Even though App State had talent, they had some NFL players, but Michigan was loaded. Michigan was loaded with talent. That should have never happened. They were just too cocky. They didn't take them serious. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Lulu. She says, "Oh, hey, you get the point." Let's see. Don Brown has put us back 2 to 3 years on defense. We are left with undersized and incapable players. That's a fact. He set us back. Honestly, if somebody new comes in, some of them dudes that were playing linebacker, if they got the speed, like Barrett, he should probably be back at safety. He shouldn't be a linebacker. He shouldn't be a linebacker. He should be at safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just he undersized. Just undersized. The scheme is trash in general. These dudes don't no hope or thoughts of playing a zone and playing it correctly. Like, the defense is a mess. You're gonna need somebody in there to really break it down and build it back together for it to be respectable. Yeah, Amari Edwards. They had NFL talent, but they didn't have no business beating Michigan that year. Michigan just didn't take them. They didn't take them serious. They were cocky. When I heard them say we looking like the Patriots, I knew that didn't sit right with me. That's like when Vince Young said we looking like the dream team when it was Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson and all them, and Vince Young was on the bench. That's like that. And then they came out that year and they were mediocre. Same thing with Michigan. They were mediocre. They finally got it going as the season went on. But, when dudes say stuff like that, it lets you know that they full of themselves. You can't get full of yourself in football. Like you always have to be humble, because football is a sport, and me and my nephew were talking about this. Football is a sport where you might catch a big pass. You might be the stuff. You might be the great receiver, and you catch a ball on me, and you say something. You might say something. You'll never be able to deal with me. And something snaps inside of my head, and I am locked in now. I am locked in, and I'm a bomb. I'm a missile, and I'm locked on to you now. You messed up. Because whatever you said just triggered something in my brain, and I am about to light you up for the rest of this game. You get nothing for free. That's the type of game football is. It's a physical, and some of the stuff it'll make you insane all of a sudden. So you could be the stuff, and then you say the wrong thing, or you don't take somebody serious, and boom, this dude is in the zone, and he is about to light you up for the rest of the game and playing the game of his life out of nowhere. Like, that's the type of game it is. You at running back, you thinking you the stuff, I ran you over. I'm back there at safety like I'm about to kill this dude as soon as I get the chance. Huh? Knockout time. That's just the type of game it is. You know what I'm saying? Ryan says needs to start juicing players. Just look at the size difference compared to playoff teams. It's a difference, but this is the thing, bro. If you want bigger players, you just got to recruit them. You just got to recruit them. Certain teams go for players like that, like Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is known for getting huge safeties. Dudes that are 6'3", 6'2", 230, 225. So you might take a dude that's a 3-star, but he's huge, and you already got the plan in your head for what you're going to use him for. How are you going to develop him? I'm going to turn this dude into my enforcer for the defense. Like, I'm going to start I want my defense, and this is how I always thought. I want my defense and my players to be big. Like Notre Dame does that. A lot of their players are huge. Like they don't get a lot, they don't take a lot of smaller dudes. Like their receivers and tight ends and even some of their running backs, they D linemen, them dudes are huge. Like that's how you have to be. You want bigger players because you can be a dog, but if that dude over there is 350, you're gonna have to be a rabbit dog to deal with him. Like them, when you get that's the name of the game. Bigger, faster, stronger. That's the name of the game. So even like players that even I lost my train of thought. Even players that are, you just have to get these. That's the name of the game. You have to make that size difference. You know what I'm saying? Like I never understood getting smaller players. Like for the most, especially on defense. On defense, now you can take a smaller player, like let's say a dude like Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. That says enough. His nickname is the Honey Badger, but he's 5'8", 200. One, if that, probably like 190. Playing safety, one of the best NFL safeties right now. You know what I'm saying? Playing on that LSU team full of big dudes, freak of nature types dudes. But you got a dude out there on defense that's 5'8", 5'9", but he's dang near the best out of all of them. You see what I'm saying? Like a dude like that, I will take. But besides that, I mean, I want my team to be big because you're gonna be able to do more with the bigger players. So him getting small defensive dudes, and it never makes sense to me. Yeah, football is serious in Texas. My nephew, he actually he hates Kyler Murray. He say he messed up his high school experience. But yeah, he played in my nephew played in Texas for a pretty big school. Desmond Woodson, you guys made a living in Ohio in the past. That's a fact. Our best players came from Ohio. Jim Harbaugh comes from Ohio. You say you like our D line just not in Don Brown's hand. That's true also. And I've said this before about some of our safeties and some of our corners. I say when they get to the NFL, we don't know how good they're gonna be because the NFL is gonna develop them more, and they're not gonna ask them to do ridiculously dumb stuff. Like they're not gonna ask them to continuously line up man on man with the fastest receiver. You're asking to get torched. That's just dumb football. Like you're asking them to get torched. You want to play tight man on man against dudes that you know are faster than you. What are you thinking about? What is your end goal to get me to make my if I was Brandon Watson that year, I'm like, what is your end goal, bro? I done had a pretty good year. I had a pretty good year, and now we playing Ohio State, and you see I'm getting toward you. Just want me to lose all my draft stock, huh? You did, you just want me to you just killed my draft stock, but yeah, you just still running that man defense. He ain't gonna get no faster just because you keep running it. Ohio State's not gonna change their game plan just because you want to keep running man. They just gonna keep putting up points on you. Carlo Kemp, uh, Kurt 313 says our D tackles were trash. Carlo Kemp was way too small. That's a fact. Carlo Kemp wouldn't have started for probably a bunch of Big Ten teams. He probably wouldn't have started for a bunch of them teams. He'd been coming off the bench, if that. If anything, I would have played him at D end. If anything. Yeah, I mean, we have to hit Ohio because they produce a lot of great players. So we have to hit Ohio. That has to be something that he focuses on. Chase Jovic says we need more dudes like Jabril. Jabril don't get enough credit for how good he really was. A lot of the people hate on him because he didn't play in the bowl game, but a lot of people don't realize how good that dude really was. And he probably have had his best NFL season this year. Like, people don't realize how good that dude was, how fast he would diagnose run plays and screens, and he would shoot off the screen. The film don't lie. See, a lot of people don't go back and watch the film of these dudes. They just watch the game, they drinking and stuff, and they don't really see exactly what's going on. But, I get on here and talk, so I go back and watch a lot of these games over again. Shooting off the screen. Jabril was shooting off the screen. I'm talking about dudes stretch plays to his side, screens to his side, anything to his side, he was blowing it up. You talking about gang tackling, he's in there. He's in the mix. Like, dude was legit. Like, some of them dudes you see on Bama and OSU and Clemson, he could have played on those teams. He was that type of dude. Like, he could have played on a Bama team and he would fit right in with them dudes. He was that good. But a lot of Michigan fans just hate on him because he didn't play in the bowl game. So go look up 2006 and see how much hardware that dude brought home. I mean, not to 2016, and see how much hardware Jabril Peppers brought home. Just go look if you don't know. And when I bring this up in some of these Michigan pages I'm on, oh, it's a popularity contest. Michigan ain't that popular with the doggone media. Not to give a dude that many awards from coaches, media, everything. Dude was just a beast. That dude brought home about 4 or 5 trophies. Best player, best returner, best defensive player. Best some other trophy that I don't even know what it was. That dude brought home like 4 serious trophies in 2016 for Michigan. Exactly, CJ Mike. And I hate that people try to discredit him. Even against OSU that year, he got a pick. It was a tip ball, but he still picked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude made plays. I just wish he would have made that last play against what's that dude name? Samuel. But hey, the whole defense got torched on that play. I think the defense was tired though, because Wilton Speight kept turning it over. Exactly, King Williams sacrificed a lot of stats for the team. I hate when Michigan fans down players that did a lot for the program. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jabril did more for the program than you could ever do. You know what I'm saying? Like, And when even like Braylon Edwards, when Braylon Edwards gets frustrated and starts, that dude has done. He put his blood, sweat, and tears out there for Michigan. Like that's something I can talk, sit on here and talk. But that dude actually put his blood, sweat, and tears on the field and was a damn good player. I ain't like some of these dudes that be talking are warming our bench warmers. These are some legendary type players. I felt like 2016. I feel like we should have played Jabril at running back, but I know he didn't want to play running back. I know they say he didn't want to play running back. I would have had to talk him into it. Like, we need you. I'm gonna put a fullback in front of you though. I'm not just gonna put you back there and I'm gonna put you in the eye. You're gonna have a fullback, but I need you. I need you. I feel like if we could have put him at running back against OSU to go on and finish that game out because we had the lead with the fullback running, I feel like we could have finished that game on now. Like, I know you don't want to, but I need you back there. I need you to go on and finish this because Devion Smith, he wasn't. OSU was too fast on defense for him. So even if there is a hole, by the time he gets to it, the hole was closed up. You know what I'm saying? Like Davion, even if he goes to the middle, but there's a he can bounce it out. He wasn't fast enough to bounce it out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was good for what he was. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't fast enough to really make OSU pay when we had good plays. Like, I feel like I would have been begging Jabril, like, I need you at running back, bro. Like, I need you just for this game, bro. I need you at running back. I'm gonna give you a fullback. I'm gonna give you a blocker in front of you, but I need you. I need you at running back today. Like, I got to have it. Like, I can't let this get away this time. Davion was a beast for what he was. You know what I'm saying? He was just a powerful back. If everything breaks out perfect, he might be able to take it 50. But a team like OSU, he just wasn't fast enough to make them pay. You know what I'm saying? If they make a mistake, this is the difference between good and great backs, or average backs and great backs. If the defense makes a mistake, the average back or the good back, he's going to get 15 yards, 20 yards. A great back is going to get 50 yards. He's going to take it to the house no matter where you're at. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the difference. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Sermon and Teague. Like, Sermon can inside, outside. He can take it 50 or 60. Teague ain't gonna do. Teague can't do that. He ain't gonna be able to bounce it out like that all the time and do. Like, Sermon is like a complete back. He was impressive. Gallen was a beast, bro. Jeremy Gallen was a beast. Him and Devin Gardner. Go look up for people that talk about Gardner, and I talked about this in the offseason. Go look up Michigan record books. You're going to see their name all over them. Yeah, you're going to see Jeremy Gallen on the receiving records, and then you go looking who his quarterback was, Devin Gardner. Them dudes was eating. Yeah, Jabril was just a player. He could have played all types of positions. He could have played corner. If you start him off there, you know what I'm saying? Like, he nickel corner, safety, linebacker, running back, wide receiver. Like, dude could kind of play anything. But that's the problem. OSU has dudes like that. Like, Ohio State has those dudes that can play multiple positions. Like, you could just switch them to any skill position and they could probably be successful. Like, they got those dudes. Yeah, Gardner loved to circle around and do some of that stuff, but he played. I feel like he just came at the wrong time. He was just at Michigan at the wrong time, going from Rich Rod to Brady Hoke. You know, I just felt like he was really there at the wrong time because he was a top recruit. You know what I'm saying? But Rich Rod got fired and Brady Hoke came. Devin Gardner went to help at receiver. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes back to quarterback when Denard gets hurt. And it's just he did a lot. And he ended up playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in Michigan history. But he never quit. Like he never quit. Like it'd be different if I could look at those teams and say, okay, he was the weak point, but it wasn't that. On most of those teams, he wasn't the weak point on those teams. Like honestly, it could have been even worse if he wasn't the quarterback because it wasn't much behind him. Let's be honest, it wasn't much behind him. So, but he put on a hell of a performance in that. I'm not sure what year it was, 2010 or 11, one of those years against Ohio State. And was that Harbaugh still? Was that No, that wasn't Harbaugh's first year. Brady Hoax, I think that was Hoax last year, maybe. And we went for two when we instead of kicking the field goal and going to overtime. I'm like, bro, don't put all your chips in a 2-point conversion. I hate that. I hate when you play in a team neck and neck, and yeah, it's gonna be an upset if you win, but you playing them neck and neck. Don't put all your chips in a 2-point conversion. Kick the field goal and let's go to overtime. I hate it when teams do that, bro. Like let's go to overtime. I ain't putting all my chips into one play. It's too much on the line to be doing that for one play. I'm sorry. I just don't like that. St. Laurent says, appreciate the $2.99 super chat, bro. He says, UM versus OSU important to Michigan by extending Jim. Obviously, it's not that important for they extended him. Obviously, it ain't that important to him. But we gonna see. Hopefully, this dude has a plan. Can you please have a plan, bro? Hopefully, he's got a plan. Yeah, CJ Mike, he says OSU called a timeout and we came out in the same set. We did that this year with Milton a couple times. But yeah, I hate putting our chips in one basket for a 2-point conversion. Take it to overtime. You get more of a chance in overtime because both teams get the ball. Like it's not like it's the NFL's overtime where you lose the coin toss and they score a touchdown, it's over. No, you're going to get a chance. They're going to get a chance. Like, I don't understand putting all the chips in the basket when you done play, when the game is like 40 to 41. Like, y'all both putting up points, bro. Let's just go to, and I know Gardner was hurt. You're just going to have to suck it up for this one, bro. You've been playing with it. Let's go on and I don't want all the stuff, all the heart and all the passion, all the plays you've made to go for nothing. And that's what happens. You go for you put all the chips in one basket, all that stuff you did, it almost means nothing because you lose. You lost on one play. One play. Real Talk says, do Michigan fans expect Harbaugh to impress them or disappoint them next season? I'm just curious. Real Talk. Now you wrote that long long thing saying why OSU was gonna win. I've been looking for you. You said you wrote that long essay about why they was gonna win, and Bama didn't have a chance. I'm just saying. I ain't saying, but I'm just saying. But I mean, we not honestly as a Michigan fan, we're not expecting to be that good next year. I'm just gonna keep it 100. We're not expecting to be that good next year. How can we, even if the offense, let's say the offense somehow gets it together, because we got some talent on offense. The running back is pretty full. The offensive line should be bringing back most of those dudes. Receivers, we got a bunch of fast receivers that are young, so hopefully they progress, get better. But on defense, I'm expecting the defense to be trash. Like, McGrone left, thanks. I was expecting him to progress. He just bounced for the NFL. Like, who's the bright spot? Who's the bright spot on defense? Dax Hill? Dax Hill didn't impress me this year. Like, I'm just going to be real. Now, that's partly because of Don Brown, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't really impress me. He was out of position a lot. Dax was out of position a lot. The whole doggone defense was out of position. So even if let's say Cade is the starter or Joe, let's say Cade is the starter and he looks good and the offense looks good. If the defense is trash, it's gonna be a lot like this year. Because the defense looks like Don Brown left us in a bad position on defense, for real. Hey, real talk. I'm hoping you're right. He says, I think Harbaugh honestly will impress next season. Unpopular pick, I know, but it's exceptionally rare. Harbaugh is disappointing 2 seasons in a row. I mean, that's true, but he hasn't really been in this position. So that defense, I just don't see how they can be that good. From what we have left, like I wouldn't be surprised if the offense is decent or maybe even good. If the defense is good, I'll be shocked. Like, I'll be shocked if our defense is good enough to make us a good team. The Joseph M, and that's what I'm thinking. The defense is going to have growing pains regardless of if Harbaugh is the captain at the helm or not. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like the cupboard is so bare on defense, we in for some trouble. We in for some trouble on defense. Ronnie Virgil said, we're the obnoxious OSU fangirl from last week. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I ain't tripping off of that real talk. You know what I'm saying? Firing Don Brown will be so much addition by subtraction that it'll shock you. And honestly, that's what I'm hoping. But it's a new scheme. Getting back to just a base 4-3, base nickel, whatever it is, base 4-3 or 3-4, whatever we go to next year. Hopefully it will, because Don Brown's scheme is just it's a stupid scheme. I'm sorry. It's just stupid to me. Yeah, and we still undersized at linebacker. You got to see who can play, because on Michigan, it's a lot of butt kissing. It's a lot of dudes that get playing time that should be sitting on the bench. If they were on other teams, all the butt kissing in the world wouldn't get them on that field. But we got dudes that just kissing butt and getting playing time. When other schools, you can kiss all the butt you want to, you ain't getting on the field over that dude. So it's even that has to be stopped. Even that has to be stopped. St. Lawrence, that's a fact. Mike McDonald, he hasn't called a play in ever. So it's gonna be growing pains. And I'm expecting them. This year I'm really expecting them because we were trash. Let's just be honest. We were trash this year. Whoever you want to blame, at the end of the day, we were garbage. Hey, hopefully so. Hey, hopefully I keep my expectations down and we turn into a good or great team. That don't bother me none. However we got to do for us to be good, yeah, I don't care. If they need me not to talk about Michigan, hey, I'll shut down my page. I don't care as long as we good or great. That's all I care about. My honest opinion on where we'll be in 3 years, your guess is honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea because Harbaugh, he's such a fickle character. He started off like he had us on the right track with hoax players, and then he's at the point where we are now. I mean, we had the revenge tour year where it looked like we might have something, get our doors blown off. If as long as Harbaugh is willing to adapt quickly, we can get back there. We can get back there. But he has to be able to adapt quickly. Being stubborn will set your team back, your program back. Like being stubborn got Harbaugh to where we are now. Because he's stubborn. He wants to do things his way with his guy. If you ain't getting it done, you got to go. So in 3 years, hopefully we can be going into the OSU game with a chance to make the Big Ten championship. So all that really means is getting to the OSU game with one loss. We can have one loss going into the Ohio State game because as long as it's not in our side of the division. See, if we get to that game and they're undefeated, we have one loss from the other side of the division. We beat Ohio State. We're in the Big Ten championship. That's all we need to do. Make it to them with one loss. We're undefeated. That's all that needs to happen. And then beat them. I made it sound easy, didn't I? I made it sound easy. And then beat them. So it is what it is. But the focus has to be, I feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like if you build your team to beat Ohio State, you won't have a problem. Whether that takes 1 year, whether that takes 3 years, everything has to be focused on beating them. Everything has to focus on that. Your recruiting has to focus on how to compete with them. Your play calling, your coaching, your assistant coaches, your development, your mentality. Because them dudes, they be having dogs. Them dudes be dogs. Like some of the plays, like let's say the play to the little screen pass to Najee, where the dude lit him up. he lit up Najee, and then Najee didn't fall down, and he's still trying to get in the end zone or whatever, he would have scored on us. Even with the big hit, I'm gonna give us the big hit. He still would have scored on us. But OSU hit him hard and then had the dogs to, no, you ain't getting in. Had the dogs that's strong enough and physical enough to know you ain't getting in. You see what I'm saying? Michigan team, even if we hit him like that, after he got that big hit, he would have scampered on in the end zone. Our dudes ain't making no one-on-one physical tackles like some of them dudes. They just ain't doing it. That's coaching in a dog mentality. Just the physicalness. Even OSU losing, you can still see the physicalness of that defense. I ain't seen no physical play from us like that on defense in a while. I've seen the scheme set up, but I haven't seen just one-on-one physical dog plays. I ain't seen that in a while. Yeah, it's coaching and mentality, bro. We see it all the time. We see Wisconsin keep it close in the Big Ten championship with them sometimes. We see Penn State go at them. We just saw Northwestern. When you don't have the talent, it's about coaching. When you don't have the talent, the coaching has to go up for you to compete against great teams or teams with way more talent than you. It's about coaching. Scheme, development, play calling. When you don't have the talent, you need better coaching. It's just simple as that. Yep. Dependent Fanatic says, Coward said it once, and I believe it's true. Get a QB, protect the QB, and attack the other QB. Yep. Well, I'm about to get off of here, y'all. My doggone head is throbbing. I got a freaking mean headache right now. So I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate y'all liking, sharing the video, and if any news comes up, I'm going to get on here and we're going to chop it up and make a video, So as always, like, share, subscribe. And as always, oh, wait, before I even say that, appreciate the moderators, Malachi, Lulu. I appreciate you, Lulu. Even though you're an OSU fan, I appreciate you. You always show love. And I appreciate y'all for joining the live. We chop it up. About to get off here. I got to get some Tylenol or something. But as always, like, share, subscribe, and go blue. And I appreciate the donations, the super chats. I appreciate y'all. Now, as always, go blue.